Welcome back. Cloud and data businesses have remained a bright spot in the markets throughout the COVID pandemic. One software platform keeping other companies up and running despite nationwide shutdowns is Splunk. The data into action company is up 13% this year, 28% since the WHO that is, declared a pandemic. Join us now in his first interview after reporting first quarter results last night is Douglas Merritt, President and CEO of Splunk. It's great to see you, Doug, and those numbers are pretty incredible since the WHO up 28%. And you have said that a company like yours, they can offer cloud products that help to secure and monitor a dispersed workforce. They're in demand right now. We shouldn't be surprised.
Well, thank you. I'm really, really proud of the team. We obviously closed our quarter April 30th, so we had nearly 2/3 of the quarter influenced by the global crisis and the pandemic. And it was comforting to see that the beliefs that we've had and that you guys have talked about, that this crisis is certainly accelerating some key trends around the world, plays out with a data platform as well. We've believed and been espousing for our entire history that data is critical to reimagine businesses, to save lives, to make effective decision making. And I think what we're seeing, and you guys are doing an excellent job on helping people with the overload of data we have around the pandemic, as that data has moved from a luxury to a necessity. And I think that the Splunk as a key big data, semi-structured, unstructured data platform is there to help organizations through this crisis.
Near term, there might be some disappointment in revenue and things flowing to the bottom line because you're trying to shift to more cloud-based, and it's essential that you do that. And for example, your cloud revenue is up 81%, but it's still not the lion's share of how you do things, and that's going to continue. It won't be quite as maybe the numbers won't go quite as quickly, but it'll be more stable.
Yeah, it's actually a little bit ironic with where we are right now that a big revenue quarter is probably an indicator that our transition isn't accelerating that one quarter. We moved to annual recurring revenue as the guidepost for ourselves internally and for investors as well, because annual recurring revenue cuts through the noise of multi-year contracts. And we've seen annual recurring revenue, or ARR, continue to grow. This quarter overall, we were 52% growth on our ARR, almost $1.8 billion in ARR. Cloud ARR grew $480 million, and 82% growth. And that resulted in that $112 million, 81% growth in cloud revenue. But we still have a majority of our contract base and customer base managing the software themselves through term contracts, which has very, very different revenue characteristics.
Yep. So the COVID testing, you actually are in this coalition with public, private, and other nonprofits to actually crunch that data in real time to help figure out who needs to be tested, where there's an opening to be tested, how to maybe even respond to what the results are. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we're really excited about that. We worked with a number of other companies. We obviously are the data and analytics portion of the solution to develop a free and publicly available solution for state and local entities that are all struggling and wrestling with this testing issue. It's a really wonderful platform that, as you said, does everything from helps citizens to self-diagnose and give feedback on whether they should test, helps them locate where available testing and the most expedient testing locations may be, helps them through that testing process, and then a whole host of analytics for the end user, both customer on what's happening with different testing trends, but also the local entities and people that are trying to get visibility onto trends around COVID to see what's happening within their immediate environment.
I mean, you would characterize the federal government's response, or at least in using data, as not all it could be at this point. There's more that they could do.
Yeah, I think we were very slow at first. If you go back to, there were a lot of beacons and warning signs late December, early January, certainly by mid-January, that there could be something that we should be a little bit more prepared for. I think there's been a more aggressive push in recent months, obviously. But going back to data being so important, forget the virus and what's happened to the virus, because that's hard to figure out. But it's less hard to figure out what's happening with medical supply chain. What does PPE look like? What kind of healthcare workers are available? What hospital beds and ventilators? Obviously, all the issues you guys have talked about. That's available information. What is our capacity for testing? That's another great example. Available information, difficult to get. It's distributed amongst many different locations and manufacturers or origins. But if you are willing to wade through complex, non-structured, messy data from all those different sources, there is red threads that can be pulled out, as we're starting to see now. And I think it's going to be critical for us to really leverage this situation to take a different stance on data and make sure that the next thing that occurs, and there always will be a next thing, we are much more well prepared and have a better chance to see those early signs and know how to react.
Well, we're not going to reopen immediately, Doug. We got to run now, but I want to have you back because data could help us figure out how to reopen safely too.
We're working on that as
Start working on that, Doug. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right. Good luck. Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you.